Dear viewer, welcome to AGRA TV in this special interview. Today we have a truly inspiring guest, the President of AGRA. She is a global leader in sustainable development and is in Mali to assist AGRA work. It's an honor to welcome Madame Alice Louisa. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So you arrived since Saturday and visit Bankumana village. What was your first impression of the work being done on the ground by AGRA Mali?
So first, let me start by saying how excited I am to be in Mali. I have only been in Mali before, but in a big meeting, and that was many years ago. So I'm excited to be here. From the moment I arrived, I saw the hospitality of Mali, the Jatigia. From here, they welcomed me. They gave me a beautiful dress. And I learned some things that were very interesting. First, I learned that Mali means hippo. And my father was a wildlife biologist. So I grew up with wildlife. And I love the hippo because the hippo is a big animal. And people, when they see it in the water, they think it's this very heavy, lazy animal. Yet it is the fastest runner. So I told the team yesterday that Mali is growing and Mali is running like the hippo. So AGRA works on 4 big business lines. When we started 20 years ago, we started with the biggest, most important mission was to increase Africa's agricultural productivity. We had seen how Asia had managed to raise itself out of poverty through agriculture. And then they called it the Green Revolution. So when we started almost 20 years ago, it was to start a uniquely African green revolution. And we started with seeds. We made sure that if we could get the farmer the right seed, the farmer would be able to produce more. And so we spent a lot of time on seeds. We trained master's students to become breeders. We also developed local seed organizations, like some of the ones that I saw here in Mali that you're starting to grow and across Africa. So seeds was important. But then seeds cannot grow if they fall on barren land or if the soils are depleted. So it was very important that we have some work also on working on soil health, but also working on teaching the farmers how to plant those seeds. So we had our work on sustainable farming is very much about soil health, but it's also about having those community-based advisors or village-based advisors to support the farmers to know where to plant and how to plant. So that's the extension work. Now, we also realized that, okay, now that we have that in place, when the food grows and if it becomes a lot, what happens? We needed to find markets. So we also did work on markets. We have a program on markets, and it works not just on markets locally, but also on trade, and so international markets. And then lastly, the other business line was really recognizing that in order to get to scale, you have to have policy. So working with governments to have national seed policies or national trade policies was also very important, because we can only catalyze as AGRA, but for the work to go to scale, you need the national policies to also match that. So we have work on seeds, work on farming, work on markets, and work on policy. But then all around that, we make sure that we have women and youth also as part of this. And we also deal with climate change, because these are very important cross-cutting issues. So yesterday in Bankumana, I was able to see this work of AGRA in practice. I mean, so basically what AGRA in Mali has done is they've built a consortium that allows them to work on seeds, that works on markets, to work on policy, and also to work on farming. So they have Ecotech, for example. Ecotech is looking at solar irrigation.
Yes. Yes.
We saw a very wonderful solar irrigation machine. This is very important because you need irrigation and you have the sun here. So it's a great opportunity to be able to produce irrigation using the sun. Sun is energy. Then we saw Malimak and Amasa. Both Malimak and Amasa, they ensure that farmers have access to inputs and they have access to markets. So in that consortia, they play that role. Then we have the Credit Mali, which makes sure there's access to finance because farmers need access to finance. So in this consortium, I saw that what AGRA Mali has done is that they've built what AGRA is meant to do, an alliance of partners that support farmers in service of farmers so that farmers can not only produce, but they can also sell to the market. And they have the inputs that they need. They have the fertilizer. The best example was this agro dealer who used to be a village-based advisor. And now he has become a dealer and he's a young man. So it underscores how we work with the youth to support youth to get into dignified jobs with MasterCard Foundation as a partner to really create these dignified jobs because this sector needs to create jobs for youth. It needs to grow. And this sector is a business.
Yes, and we see the work of AGRA at the grounds because I were with the team yesterday.
Yes.
And when you see all that product that woman creates,
yes,
and all that activities
yes,
AGRA Mali did at Bank Mana, what do you feel?
I am so proud of the team in Mali. I actually learning that AGRA has been here as a partner of the government for the last almost, as old as AGRA is almost, it's almost 18 years was also good. I had a chance to meet the ministers. They came here to have dinner with me on the first day, the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries and also the Minister of Agriculture. And you can see that they appreciate the work of AGRA, the work that we're also doing on the National Fertilizer Blending Policy, the work on the seed policy. I'm very proud because AGRA in Mali exemplifies what AGRA is about. They do all the business lines that we develop. And it's a great team. It's a very good team. I think Professor Boka, our country director, has really put together a wonderful team with the very energetic women as well.
So we see that you communicate really with the government, and it's a good thing. So what's your future plan of AGRA?
The future of AGRA. So we turn 20 years next year. First, we want to celebrate 20 years and celebrate our achievements. AGRA, if someone said to me the other day that if AGRA wasn't started then, there would be someone now looking to start AGRA because it was an important organization in the ecosystem. The agriculture ministers, they're always faced with big budgetary cuts. They are faced with demands. And I think what AGRA has come in and done is AGRA has come in and it has been a partner to the government to support government where government may not be able to do a lot and to really help them move faster. And so with our 20 years now, we want to continue that role. But one of the new things we are doing, we've just taken over what is called the Africa Agriculture Transformation Initiative. It's going to be creating what we call agriculture transformation offices in countries. And those offices will now be able to continue doing the work that AGRA does and even more. But AGRA is in Nairobi. AGRA is in Nairobi. It's 300 staff. But being able to have an office in country, sitting here in Mali, working closely with the minister is very important because it stays. It doesn't go away. It is not a project. It is an office that exists. So really continuing our work on strengthening that institutional capacity. I think for me, the other one, the important one for the future is the investment in agriculture. Because agriculture has always been seen as a hoe and a poor man's farmer, but it's a thriving business. And I think here in Mali, we saw a bit of that because when you look at the partners they have in the field, they're all private sector, very strong private sector in Bank Mana. And I know I saw something small. I know the team is in Sikasso and in other places. I saw here that there is a great. So I want to see more of that. And if you were at the Africa Food Systems Forum, you would have seen what they call the deal room. The deal room is where countries bring their projects and we also bring investors. It connects investors and countries. That is something we need to do more of. We need to change the narrative that agriculture is poor, lonely food, and to show that actually it's a thriving business. It's a $1 trillion opportunity for Africa. It is very important. And so I want to make sure that we increase the investment, we increase the private capital in agriculture. We'll continue with the work on youth. It is very important. Here you have, I think it's 50% of the population that is below the age of 15. That's youth. Without the youth, we cannot do anything. The forum was also very much about youth. You saw a big youth dome. So there's a lot of energy around that. Continue supporting women. Definitely we need to make sure that women are the backbone of Africa's agriculture. We need to make sure they have access to finance and access to inputs. We need to make sure they are receiving a fair price. So our work on women has to really continue shining. And partners, we need to bring partners, but even maybe more partners. So not just in agriculture, but in health, in environment, because agriculture touches every sector. It's an agri-food system, infrastructure, digitization. And with the corridors now, we have all these big corridors that are moving, like Lobito or the Abidjan, Accra. All those corridors allow the intra-Africa trade. And we have the Africa Free Trade Area as well. So yes, continuing the work, but continuing to get to scale, more investments, and really more policy. And of course, we have CADAP, I shouldn't forget, we have the Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Policy.
It's a really nice perspective.
Yes.
And wish a happy birthday to AGRA.
Yes, happy birthday to us next year. Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. It is my pleasure.
To accept our invitation.
Yes.
And I think we are at the end.
Yes.
And I saw that there are many activities, many rich activities which are coming, which already organized. And thanks for this. Thanks for being for young people, for women, and for agriculture, for environment. It's a pleasure for me.
It's a pleasure for me to work with someone like you, who is very young and doing this work. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
We are at the end of this special emission. So thanks for watching us and stay connected in our platform. Goodbye and let's see soon.